How do we acquire commercial real estate at a discount?
You buy it immediately. Really seriously, that's you cannot procrastinate on it. You cannot sit down and question whether the price is too high or too low or not right. Just buy it because the time is on your side. My accountant's son years ago, he came to me and he said, I'm looking at this building in Golden. Should I buy it? I said, absolutely. He said, but it's not making enough money. I said, who cares? You have other income coming from your job. Whatever you're short on, you can supplement that with your income. But in time, you're going to start leasing the space for $2 a foot, and in time it's going to be $3 a foot. And in time, the tenant is successful. He's never leaving you, and you can ask any price you want as long as it is.
As long as it makes sense, yeah.
It makes sense, and it's the current going price per foot.
Well, you know what's funny, talking about just buying it, and it's one of the most regretful things I've ever done. I can remember in 2007 and 8 when I was learning, looking at some houses, and then starting to buy in 2010, 11, 12.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, but I can remember being like, this house, oh man, I bought a house in the neighborhood for $110,000. They're wanting $120,000. That's way too much. Now those houses are going for $600,000 a spot, and you're like, wait a second, what is going on? So your point is, buy it.
Buy it.
Shoot the lock off your wallet. Get going. Start buying these commercial real estate.
Buy it.
When you're looking for discounts in the commercial real estate space, what are you looking for?
Again, I don't know why you keep saying discount.
Okay.
It's a going price.
Okay.
All my commercial properties I bought, it was through networking. It wasn't advertised. It was people I knew, and I approached them and said, hey, I want to buy it. One property, it took me 20 years. Two, actually. One took me 20 years. The other one took me 18 years to acquire it. And it was stupid. It was really stupid. I mean, the building that I was running my business, every time I saw the landlord, I say, Jim, I want to buy the building. And he'd say, you're not buying the building. I'm not selling it. And a long story short, after 18 years, I didn't know that. Finally, one day he came to my shop, and walking out the door, I said, Jim, I want to buy this building. And he went, Kal, you will never buy this building from me, from my kids, or my grandkids. And I said, okay, so he left. And then 2 weeks later, I went on a vacation to the Cayman Islands. And I'm sitting there. I said, okay, so this is what I'm going to do when I get back. Came back in end of June, and I wrote him a letter. And I put 2 checks. One check for the rent, which was $700, and one check is $50,000 down payment. The reason is he wanted $150 all along, and I'd been beating with him for 18 years, $110, $115, and always the answer is no. So I finally gave him what he wanted. I gave him $150, $50 down. He carried the note on the $100,000 for like 3-4 years, paid him off. It was over with. That building that I was renting from him back in 99 for $700, today is bringing in $9,400 a month.
Well, I mean, like the question I'm asking, because I'm a residential investor.
Of course,
we're always looking for discount.
I hate the residential. I still do.
You still do. But we're always looking for that discount. We're looking for that distressed discount. What you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, in the commercial side, really don't be looking for that discount. Get into it, something that can make you money. So is that fair?
Get your feet wet. Why? What's your home address? Let's say 7682 East First Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. There is only one 7682 East First Avenue in the world, period. Mm-hmm. So you have an iconic address, and nobody else can get it from. They cannot replicate it, So buy it, own it. Yeah, like you said about buying houses for $110, and before you know it, I mean, it's $120, $150.
Yeah.
Like you said, now they're $600,000.
Yeah.
My cousin bought 11 houses in Thornton during that period of time, about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And he bought them for as low as 80 and as high as 210 for the most expensive. But now they're all worth $500,000-$600,000.
So you're saying just get in the game.
Just get in the game.
Yeah.
Just get in the game.
And not just get in the game, have a long-term mentality once you do get in the game. Because if you are having to buy it this year and then sell it 6 months later, Yeah, in order to make some money, you're going to have to do some kind of a value add, buy it at a discount or whatever. But you're doing your commercial real estate for, it's not 1 year.
Oh no, I have not. I only sold one property. I'm a holder. I don't sell.
Yes. Yes.
I only sold one property because I did the 1031. The property I bought was much better than what the one I was selling. And
So you just exchanged it. You sold it to exchange it and
yeah.
keep that thing running. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
But you're holding on to these things. You are not,
absolutely
not getting rid of them. And so that's the mentality you've got is buy it, hang on to it, hold it for a long time. Now, what are you looking for in a commercial piece of property?
I was really lucky, Brad, that and fortunate that I was in Littleton. And I realized early on that Littleton was really a ghost town. And this is another story. We can go into it, but
Go ahead.
I'll go into it. Okay. In the 80s, mid-80s to late 80s, early 90s, I would walk down the street, whether to go buy something from the hardware store or go to the bank or the shoe shop. And Main Street would be 50% either for lease or sale. And the other 20% of it is vacant,
This is in Littleton, downtown Littleton.
This is downtown Littleton, Colorado.
Yeah.
And the buildings were really old, architecturally designed. I had a good corner, so I had a great location. I ran my own business out of, and I leased that building for 20 years. So in the first 20 years I leased it, I paid them $180,000, I think about $180,000 to $200,000 in rent. Then I bought it. Right now, you come in and look at it and say, "Cal, I'll give you $3 million." I say, I want to think about it. It's not for sale.
Yeah.
Because it's producing.
Yeah.
It's producing way ahead of its time.
The question that gets asked of us was, how do you buy a commercial real estate at a discount? And the answer from what I'm hearing is you don't really need to get that commercial real estate at a discount so long as you're buying the right type of commercial piece of property. So for you, what is that right type of commercial real estate?
Main Street. Address, Main Street. Location. And Main Street was a ghost town. Yeah. So I got to tell you two things. How is that you try to approach the owner to carry the note.
Oh, okay.
At a discount rate.
Yeah.
Interest rate. And the reason is whether you are going to sit down and argue with the seller on $10,000 discount or getting the loan at a 1% less than the market, I would take the 1%.
Okay.
Plus, because in time it's going to be worth a whole lot more than that $10,000.
It's the whole I'll give you the price if you give me the terms mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
and in commercial real estate, that's a normal thing to do owner carry back.
Of course,
that's a normal part of doing business.
It is in many cases, depending on the property you're buying. I'm a small property. The biggest building I have is 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
And the smallest one is 884 square feet. So depend on the property you're dealing with or that you're looking at. And when somebody asks me, what should I look for? I say, go look for, a 7-Eleven, a corner lot, something like, and I would rather buy a property that has vacancy than buy it completely occupied. If I buy it completely occupied, I'm lazy. I'm not.
So you are looking for those vacant commercial spots.
If you have like 3-4 spaces in a property and there's 1 or 2 vacant, take it.
So you're looking for those vacant commercial properties on like a main street where you
on a
put
corner.
Traffic, on a corner, even better. I know you have some that are in the middle, but like you prefer the ones on the corner.
I do not have anything in the middle.
Oh, you don't? It's always on a. No kidding.
No kidding. Everything is either a self-independent building or on a corner.
Why do you prefer the corner over the middle?
I cannot, as a landlord, ask of you to pay me the same rate for that space versus the corner. The corner is worth a lot more because it's exposure.
Interesting.
And then the other thing you want to look at is the property facing south versus the building facing north. Why? You get the sun. Mm-hmm. Okay?
No snow on the sidewalk?
No snow on the sidewalk, and people are going to magnetize walking in the sun for 10 or 11 months every year than walking on the north side facing. So then
you're looking for a vacant piece of property.
Not per se totally vacant, 25, 50% vacancy.
Yeah. on a corner, but in a busy walkway area, and trying to do some owner finance, owner carry, creative finance type situation. I bought my hotel. I owned a hotel for a decade up in Frisco. And that's exactly how I approached it. Not the corner of the thing, but it was on Main Street, Frisco. And I approached the owner and I did the exact same thing where I negotiated a creative finance situation. In that case, it was a lease with an option, but I eventually had him carry a note for me. And that worked out beautifully. So from a commercial real estate perspective, like we don't deal in, a lot of our moguls, our listeners, we call our listeners and watchers moguls. That's what we're trying to get them to. We talk a lot to our moguls about single family real estate investing, but I wanted to have you on here because you're basically, for everyone listening, you've got several properties on Main Street. How many properties do you have, Main Street?
Total properties, 16. And 3 of them are residential, except one of the 3 is my residence. The other 2, the reason I branched in those, these are very high-end rentals, condos in a tower. One of them is $7,000, the other one is $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
So you demand, just the location of the property demand that kind of clientele. You're not going to be dealing with riffraffs. You're dealing with established people with credit. Yeah, I don't even check credit on them because if they can afford to pay $7,000, believe me,
they're fine.
Yeah, they're good.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss the next episode. Every week, we drop practical money strategies and real stories that'll change the way you think about wealth.